So let's see how far we got last time. Okay, so yeah, last time what we done was we had it open up the window, showing the frame rate and the tick right at the top, as you can see, and then drawing the tile, drawing it just off the screen here. And it just makes sure that it can crop it so that you're not drawing too much, and it stops it when it goes off the screen. That's fine, that's pretty cool. So this is our image class here, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be building this into a level. Just make sure I've got this set right. Yeah, that might be a bit better. Yeah, we're going to be building this into some levels. So we're going to split that sheet into sprites or tiles. We're going to split it into tiles first, and then that can then split off into one of two things, either a sprite or it can split off into a block, which we'll show you. I'll show you how we're going to do that in a moment. Now this is the only way I do. This is only the way I do it. There are many ways to do this, but this is a way that I do like doing it. So I'm going to go ahead first and just make a new class and call it SpriteSheet. We'll put it in GUI for now, so that'll be fine like that. In here, what we're going to do is, let me think. Yeah, so I'm going to change this already. We're going to be changing this into tile sheet. Now it's going to moan us because it doesn't know what a tile sheet is, which rename the compilation unit to tile sheet. So what we're doing for this, let's turn that off. There you go. So this is going to have to load an image in, and then it's going to separate it into an array of loads of other images, each of which will be stored as a tile. Now we can do different things to tiles. We could, or should I just leave them as images? That might be better. Yeah. So what we're going to do, I should really have planned this. First thing we're going to do is obviously we're going to have a public tile sheet, which would just be our constructor. In that we're going to have to take a parameter and also a size. I think that should be it. Yes, so it should take the parameter, the file name, that'll give us an image, and then if we take the size from that as well, we can then start splitting that image up. Yeah, that'll work. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a new image, we'll call it IMG, and we're going to load new image file name. Okay, so that don't even have to include anything because it's in that same thing. We're then going to do that this.w. No, don't do that because we don't need to store the width and the height, do we? No. So we're going to make an int called w, which equals img.getWidth, which doesn't exist at the minute, but we'll make that in 2 seconds. And we'll do the same with h, which is going to be getHeight though instead of width. So let's just quickly come to these and make them two functions. It should just be int getWidth. Them brackets are a bit fucked up. There you go. And just return this.width or this.w, and the same for height. Oh, no, just that. That's it. And one last thing I forgot to do is just put public on the front of them, just to make them public functions. I think that by default they're public functions anyway, but just to make sure is really the main thing there. What's going on? There we go. Right. So now we've got the width and the height. Now we're going to do tile W, which is going to be how many tiles there is in the width. So for this we're going to do W divided by size, and then same for the H, which will be H divided by size. Because the idea is tiles will be the same width and the same height. I can change that. Yeah, it ain't going to take a lot to change that, is it? It really is one of the things that every time you just start streaming, like everything is there. Like everyone wants to seem to ring you and everything. So, right, we're going to now do this. Change this to TW and TH, tile width and tile height. the reason we're going to do this is one of the ways I was thinking of doing blocks. One of the things I'm thinking of doing with the blocks is to actually make a 2D game with 3D blocks, if that makes sense. So you can just place blocks, and if you place a wall block, it draws the wall and the top as well. Yeah, and the top as well. And then if you dig that away, then but like it will place the top of the block further back and stuff. So I think that would look quite cool. So we'll change. You might see more of what I mean as we go further in. But yeah, this dot tiles equals a new image array, and it is going to be tile W times tile height. The reason I'm doing it like that was debating between whether doing it like that or doing it as a two different like arrays. So to put another double square bracket on there, that just makes it awkward. Does it? No, that actually makes it all right. We're gonna do, yeah, we'll do that. A lot of this stream is going to be me sort of backtracking on things. So that's what we're going to do, and then we're going to make a new for loop with I is less than tile width, I plus, and the same for J, tile height, and J plus. Right. So now we've got a loop here, and this is where we're going to actually separate that image into loads of different tiles. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to do this dot tiles I J, no that's an I again, equals new image, and we're going to do it with TW TH. Now I've got to store them as well. I need to remember to store them. And then we're going to go this dot image dot not image, is it? It's not even this, is it? img dot render part. Now, the first thing we're going to take is the image that it wants to render onto. So we're going to render part of the image onto this dot tile.j, starting at I times TW, and starting at the Y value of J times TH, sorry, for a width of TW and a height of TH. And that's it, I think, for now at least. We're then just going to make sure all this works. So this constructor's not working here. So all we're going to do is, because we haven't actually defined a constructor to allow us just to create a blank image, we're just going to do it like that. So now we've got width and height that we send it, and it will do that for us. And then, oh no, this needs to be this dot tiles, and then it's going to moan. It don't know what render part is. XS X. Oh no, not Y S, and then width and height, and we'll rename that target. Right. Next, we're going to copy the render function. Literally, the whole render function. We'll just copy it in. We don't need the height, and yeah, we'll sort this out in a minute. Actually, no, do we want to? Because that's just going to be XO and YO, isn't it? So that's X offset and Y offset then. So what we're going to do is we're going to render. We're going to change this so we run for width and a height of the loops. If that is less than width, and that is less than height, or greater than or equal to height, sorry. And here, instead of this, what we're going to do is X minus XO. Because, so if we want to start at an XO value of 16, for example, then we need to move the image 16 values to the left, which is minus 16. Yeah, that's right. So that was more for my own confirmation as well. So it's like that. Next, what we're going to do is target.pixels. Now, we can do this times W. We can do this because it's the image class and it's just drawn onto another image. We can just sort of use the same function and the same. We can use private things. So now that will store all of our tiles into that image, into that one class of tile sheet. The last thing we're going to do before we test it is just make a public void called render. we're going to make an integer array called target, integer called s-width. Now we're going to need a tile to... No, do I want to do it like this? Or can I just do... No. We're not going to do it like this. What we're going to do is just an integer of tile. And let's just set them brackets like that. And instead of render, what we're going to call it is get tile. So we're going to go onto here and we're going to go if tile is tile x, tile y, sorry. So now what we're going to do is if tile x is greater than or equal to this dot tiles dot length, so that's our x value, or tile x is less than 0, or tile y is greater than or equal to this dot tiles 0 dot length, or tile y is less than 0, then this means we can return null, because what that will do is if it agrees with any of them, then what it means is that it's outside of the boundaries of things that we actually have. So we don't need to return anything, so we'll return null. Otherwise, we'll return this dot tiles, tile x, tile y. Okay. We need to make that a image instead, so it returns an image. And then up here in game, rather than doing it like this now, we're going to now make a tile sheet. So we're now going to load it as a tile sheet, call it tile s, and we're going to make a new tile sheet with an x value of, I don't even remember. And let's just open up paint.net. And we'll go over here, just quickly, just so that I don't reveal to you other things that I've been working on. There we go, it's got back. So this is a value of 32, isn't it? That's what it looks like. Yeah, 32. So for this, for now, we're just going to put 32 and 32 and save. And that shouldn't, that should go away. Wicked. Right, now when we're rendering, alright, that's fine. When we're rendering, what we're going to do is make a new image, call it I. Just make it tile s dot get tile 0 0. So this should be the grass tile that we had, and then we're just going to I dot render at 600 100 apparently. Now let's not. Yeah, that's fine. And why can't you? Oh no, not that one. We want to include that one. We want to include our own game engine version. Now when we run that, we should just end up with just the grass tile on the screen. So what we've done now is we've separated that whole sheet into, I think it's 100 different tiles, and we can now access them by coordinates. So this one's obviously 0 0, 0 1, 0, no, 0 0, 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, 4 0, and the like. So that's pretty cool. Next we're going to go ahead and build a level. But I want to do it as blocks really. So I'll build a block next. Yeah, so let's build the block next. Now I'm debating how I'm going to do blocks, because yeah, we'll do it this way. But would that be a game thing, or yeah? Really, with this, you really need to work out sort of what sort of game you're going to make. So whether you're going to make a 2D sort of game, like a platformer like Mario, or whether you're going to be making a 2D sort of game like more of a 2.5D sort of thing, like a Pokemon sort of style. If you're going to be making 3D, it's completely different. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for a platformer as an example on this, because yeah, I've never been successful in making platformers. I've made platformers and they've worked, but I've never been successful in actually finishing a platformer. So it'd be quite nice to actually be able to finish one of them and actually build an engine out of it. And I suppose the engine to convert from a platformer to a sort of to convert from a platformer into more of a Pokemon style game isn't too difficult, I guess. So I think we'll do that. Yeah, we'll go for a platformer, which means I do need to redesign this tile, because at the minute this tile is just fully grass. What I'm going to do is we're just going to paint it green first. get some brown and put the brown up there. Then get the green back, and just every other tile, or every now and again, every other tile works though. So yeah, like that. That looks pretty cool, I think. So bear with me. I'm just gonna. Oh no, don't do any of that. Let's just move it. I just want to move the tile. Okay, ain't even let me move the tile now. Just move. There you go. The way I've done it's kind of dodgy though, because I didn't do it seamlessly. So I've got to copy it all across like so, and hope that it lines up, which it does just, yeah, that's fine. And then just put green dots in each of these gaps, like so. And don't say yet, because we've got our, well, we haven't got to, but I like adding a bit, not that much noise, but I like adding a bit of noise. Just, I think it gives it a bit of something, you know. It does make it quite easy to distinguish when you've looped it though, so that's a bit wrong, but that's fine. So we're going to make this into like a level. Like, yeah, we're going to start making this into a level for a platforming game. Yeah, grass. What's wrong with grass? We're going to make this into a platforming game, yeah. So let's go into blocks now. We're going to make a new package here called engine.world.block. And make a new class and call it block. And that's in the completely wrong place, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. That's better in there. And then, oh, come on, just update that. Change packet declaration. And in here, instead of making it, yeah, no, we'll make that like that. We're going to put a level and call it level. And in this, we're going to do new level. res/level001.png and then tile s, like so, and create a class level, and we're going to put this into our not block, just world. That's it. Like that? Yeah, like that. And create constructor. Just call it L file and TS for tile sheet. So that's fine like that. Actually, in here, one thing I did forget to do is this dot width equals TW and this dot height equals TH. And do that and that. That's it. Right now. So now that stores the width and the height of each tile, so that I can use them later on if I make them public. Actually, no, rather than public, leave them private and put down here public get dim and make a new point get dim return new points this dot w this dot h. I could do with some chips, actually. Yeah, I could really eat some chips. Right, so now that's going to be our, let's get our dimensions. So let's make, in here, we're going to have to make a new thing called, that's 10 by 10. And start by, we have to, no, we could do it that way, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I'll do it that way. Instead of this, what we're going